Welcome to Keepin' It Real, your go-to radio show for fresh insights and vibrant introductions. Get ready to dive into a world where we offer you the latest in real estate wisdom and the juiciest community tidbits. From expert advice courtesy of top realtors to opportunities to give back through local charities, we've got you covered. Plus, we'll shine a spotlight on the young athletes driving our local sports scene and uncover the buzzworthy happenings both in town and beyond. Stay tuned for a jam-packed hour of enlightenment and entertainment right here on Keepin' It Real.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Sherry's amazing team brings honesty, expertise, and a deep understanding of the local market. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned homeowner, they're committed to your peace of mind and handle every detail for you. Their approach? Personalized service, above and beyond transactional real estate, building lifelong relationships, nationwide connections, local expertise. There's a reason this team is amongst the top realtors in Arizona and across the nation. You owe it to yourself to call or visit the Sherry Ethell Team, the top team at Long Realty, behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more info. Real integrity, real results.
In a town with heart and history, the Sherry Ethell Team is the key. Serving Sierra Vista, we agree. For military law and retirees, stress-free process you will see. Personal carries our guarantee. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team, we never halt. Real experts here to guide your way, making dreams come true every single day. Trust a team that knows just what to do. The Sherry Ethell Team, working for you. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team is your one and only call.
All right, welcome this Saturday morning to the Keepin' It Real radio show, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I'm Dion Ethell, I'm your host, and today I've got a special guest in here. It's from the Rising Sun Games, and we've never had anybody from a game store, card shop. So I've got Glen, and is it
Lehman?
Lehman? Okay, and I've got also something we haven't done before is actually brought in a customer. So I got Cody here, who's a customer here, so we can kind of get a different perspective. So that's kind of cool. Welcome to the show, Glen.
Thank you, Dion. It's nice to meet you.
And it's great to have somebody new, somebody different, some kind of a different business. We like to do these business spotlights, but we've never had one on there. So tell me a little bit about your business. And is it a card shop? Is it more than that? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so it's the Rising Sun Games here in Sierra Vista, and it is primarily a card shop. So we play games like that would be like Pokemon. It's called Magic the Gathering. We play one called Flesh and Blood. We do the One Piece trading card game. Other ones based on anime like Gundam or Digimon. A lot of those are really popular right now. We also, if people who are interested in miniatures and stuff, we play the war games as well, like Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar, and things like that. So we try to get into everything that isn't digital. We don't do any video games. That's the only thing. Everything else we try to do.
So everything's right there physically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And how long have you been in business?
So unless my count's off, I think next month on the 16th is 7 years. I think we're finally hitting that mark.
Wow, that's a long time. So you're, I think we talked about it before in the studio when we just sat down. You must be doing something right.
I hope so. It seems like I'm doing right. You know what it is? I think the key is the customers, right? So. Yeah. Except for the people who've had to move away, obviously a lot of military people who designed our logo was a military couple that had to go, move on with their lives. They left the station. But aside from them, we've had a really good core community that's done nothing but build and grow over that 7 years, which kept us great during, well, I don't want to say great, but alive during COVID.
Alive, yeah. At least.
And then every time there's been a financial rupture, there's always been our community who's just bought product to keep us where we need to be, and it works out great. It's a great place to be, and we don't even charge people to come in. We just let them come in, hang out, and play.
Wow.
Cody here.
Yeah. So, Cody, maybe you can tell me a little bit from the customer perspective. What do you go there for? I mean, like, what's the interest?
So I go there for Magic the Gathering myself, and I go there for like single cards, but mostly to play. So me and a group of friends will head down there, especially Friday nights. That's the big one. We go down there, we play a bunch of Commander, or if there's like a special event going on, sometimes we'll jump into those for the new sets that come out and things like that.
Now, help me understand too. So now, do you and your circle of friends always play together, or do you let other people hop in there, or how does that work? Or did you meet these people there?
Some of the people we did meet there. Another is just a friend that I made through work, and then him and I go down, and then we usually jump in with 1 to 2 other people. So we try and get at least 4 players in our little pod to play with at a time. We play a format called Commander, so you get 100 cards, only get 1 of each. So it's really kind of cool the way that you can build for it. And it makes for some really fun gameplay. Games take a little while, but
So flipping back to you, Glenn, how long does a customer kind of hang out? I mean, does that vary?
It varies. Obviously, you have people who come in and just shop, right? And they buy whatever they want, and they look around, and they leave, and what have you. But then you have people like Cody who will show up before open and then just won't leave until the sun comes up sometimes. I'm not even exaggerating. We've definitely stayed and hung out that late before. And just to go back real quick, he was talking about how he plays Commander. It's a multiplayer format, so the goal is to get more than just 1-in-1.
Okay.
And the beauty of that is Magic the Gathering is the name of the game, and the beauty in Magic has always been the gathering, is getting people together to play.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay.
We had this whole thing with COVID where we got into the digital age. We had to do things online. We couldn't meet in person. We kind of had to close down the store for a while.
Right.
And it's nice to see people actually coming out in droves. Every Friday we have a packed house, no matter what's going on for Magic.
Now, did you have to still keep your physical place? Did you still have that? I had to pay rent and all those kinds of things still, even though you weren't doing it?
I have an amazing landlord is the first answer to that. But the second was there was some relief program that we're still paying off from the government because we had to be closed for 3 months. We were mandatory, couldn't open our doors.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That's because I don't know that we've ever really talked to one of the businesses who had to kind of survive through COVID about that experience. So you were shut down for 3 months and couldn't have anybody in. And you did it. You just switched over to online. Was that a heavy lift to try to do that, or was that fairly easy?
So it was a heavy lift, but the thing that got us through, besides our customers willing to go onto our Facebook and just communicate with us to buy new product that was coming out, the big thing that helped was I still had a job at the time. I was working. I worked at one of the Lolly dealerships while they were Lolly. They're now Ed Morris, I think.
Yeah,
his name is.
Yeah, Ed Morris. Yeah.
But I used to work there, and that covered the load a little bit with the home and trying to cover the bills. But again, my landlord making sure I didn't have to make those payments during COVID, and then for a couple months after until that relief program hit, really helped us out.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. That's really cool. And it's cool to hear, the details there. One of the things we always do is we try to get to know the person who is behind the business, right? Behind every business is a great person who's got some interesting stories. We kind of want to drill down to that, I guess, and kind of get to know you a little bit. So you said you worked for Lolly. How long have you been here?
So I moved here, 2017. I want to say June, July. I can't remember. I want to say it was June, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Where'd you come from before?
Yuma, Arizona.
Yuma. Okay, yeah. I've worked in Yuma. So
I'm sorry.
It's hotter than heck out there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I remember, we actually lived in Buckeye at the time, and I was commuting back and forth, which is crazy, because it's basically 2 hours each way every day. I remember I bought a little car, and it actually just sandblasted the paint off. And I was like, come on.
Go through a little haboob, and then all of a sudden you just don't have paint on your car.
I know. It was incredible and incredibly hot. I remember, you'd always wear long sleeves over there and during the summertime especially, and it felt like your skin was searing. I think it really was.
I think it was too.
And everything's like rock and really, the brush is really low, because it's just burnt off.
So just fun fact about the heat. I worked at the car dealerships down there too, the Bell Alexander Group, and when we did our offsite sales, so we would go to like Sears and pull the cars out there. We would take our pens and we would put them in the asphalt at the Sears wherever they did the repairs, and it would just stick right in and then re-solidify. It was that hot.
Wow. Well, I can tell you, I used to ride my motorcycle back and forth to work some days, and I would have to stop halfway to let my boots kind of cool off enough because they were getting sticky on the bottom. So it just tells you how hot it is. It's like driving a motorcycle with a hair dryer right in front of you on full
blast.
It's crazy. Well, hey, let's take a quick break. We'll hear from our sponsors, and we'll come right back and learn a little bit more about Glen and Rising Sun Games.
There you go.
All right, we'll be right back.
We're the real wayfinders, the trailblazers, the go-getters. In a town where the desert wakes before dawn, we don't just talk, we make things happen. And when we speak, it's real, it's genuine, and it's worth hearing. Tune in every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on Canyon Country 97.7 FM. Join the Sherry Ethell Team for Keepin' It Real, where top realtors, local heroes, and the heartbeat of our community come together. Raw, authentic conversations, expert market insights, and the best local events you can't afford to miss. Keeping it real, celebrating our community. Bold, genuine, one of a kind.
Welcome to an exciting new chapter in real estate marketing with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. We're thrilled to introduce our groundbreaking radio campaign that's set to virtually transform how homes are sold in our community.
Are you looking to sell your home? Imagine your listing highlighted as not just a home of the week, but receiving continuous, exclusive attention on the airwaves until it sells. That's right. Every single Sherry Ethell Team Long Realty listing will now be featured regularly, ensuring maximum exposure to maximize your speed of sale.
Here's how it works. Each week, we'll spotlight all of our current listings in individual, engaging, and detailed 30-second radio ads. Whether you're selling a cozy starter home, a luxurious estate, or anything in between, your property will be heard by thousands of potential buyers in our local area. This innovative approach guarantees that your home remains top of mind for listeners until the perfect buyer comes along.
Why choose the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty? Because we're committed to delivering unparalleled service with a personal touch. Our new radio campaign will be just one more way we help reduce the stress of selling your home by giving it the visibility it deserves. We understand that selling a home can be a daunting process, but with your tailored marketing campaign and this kind of presence, it'll be easier and more efficient than ever.
Tune in to Canyon Country 97.7 to hear about the latest listings on our new program we're calling our Home Spotlight Series. Or catch the Keepin' It Real radio show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for the latest on real estate tips from the experts, weekend open houses, awesome charity opportunities, great happenings in our community, and wonderful interviews with youth sports coaches and athletes.
So don't miss out on this unique opportunity to have your home featured in our exclusive radio campaign. List with Sherry Ethell Team Long Realty today and experience the magic of real estate marketing like never before.
For more information, give us a call at 717-599-2439. Sherry Ethell Team Long Realty, behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard right here in Sierra Vista, where your home story is told until it's sold. Remember, with us, it's not just about selling houses. We make success stories for a living. Stay tuned, stay informed, and let us help you find your perfect home. All right, welcome back to the Sherry Ethell Team Long Realty Studios. Keeping it real. I'm Dion Ethell, and if you just tuning in here, we're sitting here with Glen Lehman and Cody. Cody's one of their customers here at the Rising Sun Games, and we're talking about what their business is all about. And we kind of were trying to get to know Glen a little bit. He had talked about his prior work with Lolly here, and he moved here in 2017 and came from Yuma. And so, you know, he's been here for a bit and had a business. Now, what made you kind of think of this business? I mean, how did that get started?
So that was you'd think I would have landed on it easier when I tell you more about my backstory, but it took me a while to figure it out. I had the worst month in the car business ever. It was the February of 2018. And I just didn't make any money. It was horrible. How am I going to pay my rent next month? And I started to find another revenue. And I looked into it. I was like, maybe I should open a restaurant. Maybe I should open a food truck. Maybe I should go 100 different things.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? I just want to relax and get back into playing Magic. I haven't played Magic in a couple of years. And I looked, and there was one store, and it was on base. It was called Friction Games. And I didn't know at the time that we could just kind of get a base pass and go on base. Down in Yuma, you need to get like a sponsor to drag you onto the Marine base.
Oh, yeah, it's a little more restricted.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that was possible for a longest time. So I don't know, after a week or two, I was like, this town needs a game store. We don't have one. We need a place for people to get together and play all sorts of games, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, Warhammer, what have you. And we just didn't have one, so I decided to do it. I sourced all of my friends in Yuma with a bunch of name ideas, and then I made them vote on it, and that's how we got to the Rising Sun Games.
Oh, no kidding.
And then I asked a couple people to come help me out and run the store. And my best friend now, couldn't live without him, Joshua Luna, we call him Moon, the other owner, he's off today. But he came up, helped me out, and he basically ran that store while I sold cars.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of partnered up and put it together and took a gamble.
Yeah.
And it paid off, obviously, because you're still in business 7 years later.
Yeah, I'm still in business. I haven't lost my house yet. I wake up stressing every morning like everybody else, but it is what it is.
Right. I think that's all businesses. You know, we've had a number of different businesses here, and, you know, we've had some interesting conversations with some of the folks who've actually, like yourself, who've survived for a bit. You know, it's not easy. It takes a lot of work, and it's a huge investment, both personally and financially. Then when you finally make it, it's still work, and it's even busier sometimes. You know, it absorbs you a little bit.
So Cody mentioned that he buys singles from us. What that means is single cards, so individual cards. One of our biggest problems that we have is a good problem to have. You know, there's a book somewhere that we read that says it's all about getting better problems. But one of our biggest problems is we're selling so many cards that we have people coming in asking if their order's ready, and we're halfway through 3 orders back because it's 50 cards per order.
Wow.
So it's definitely getting busier.
That's good. That's good. Well, there's not a lot of things here in town for people to go and do, in establishments where you can play cards, do something, you know, especially physically. I mean, everything's kind of come online. And while that's great and all, that gets a little old too. It's nice every once in a while to get with some friends and have that camaraderie and kind of, you know, just that physical contact. Yeah. I think humans need that.
And one thing that we also offer, people don't realize this, is, I mean, we may not be running we're not running Monopoly night, right? But we have Indochine right next door. So go get your food, bring it on over, take one of our tables that aren't, you know, being used by cards and eat. And if there's something you're interested in, ask around. Somebody will probably teach you how to play it or tell you what it's about. And it's all about getting to know people and learning new hobbies.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we didn't talk about where you're located. So you're right next to Indochine on Fry Boulevard. Yep. What's your address?
What is it? 1299 East Fry Boulevard, and we're in Suite D.
Okay. Right next to Indochine. I think most people know where Indochine is. Obviously a popular food place. We go there quite a bit too. Flipping back to Cody, let me ask you a question too. As far as the gaming and everything and just having a place to be able to go, what's that mean to you and your friends and everything?
Well, it's so nice to just be able to head over there where it's not just us, you know. It's cool to hang out together and play every now and then, just us. You know, we'll do some deck building or something like that at the house. But to get out there, we've met several new friends who we try and keep in our play group whenever we come down. Yeah. Like there's always 1 or 2 of them there who are like, hey guys, we're here. Do you guys want to come play with us? And so, boom, we walk in, they're there, and we get a full group right off the bat.
Wow.
So it's really nice. And we've met a whole bunch of people just to hang out and play with, depending on what day we're able to go down, because it's, unfortunately, you know, with life, it's never the same day that you're going to be able to get free.
Yeah.
We try and hit those big Friday nights because there's always a ton of people there. So we know that if we go down on a Friday night, we're going to have games until they close.
Yeah.
And sometimes later.
Speaking of which, Glenn, what are your hours?
So during the week, right now we have summer hours, Monday through Thursday, it's 2 to 9. And then I don't know the last time I ever closed at 9, Cody. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's 11 to 10 officially.
Okay. And you'll hang out sometimes if a game's going and it's working out good.
I'll join some of the games if I can, or I'll let them play while I just start doing all my social media stuff because I didn't have time to do during the day. I'll stay there till 2, 3 in the morning generally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long day.
Yeah, 8 in the morning for this was definitely a fun time. I need my coffee.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we are early. It is an early riser show for sure. Tell me a little bit about your customer. So, what's the average age of your customer? Would you say probably?
So I honestly got to say it's I would say late 20s, early 30s male. It's probably the real answer. I mean, you obviously have kids coming in looking for Pokemon packs, and some people who are teenagers looking to get into games, usually Magic, or they're jumping into their own game from their favorite anime that exists. But most of the people who come in are well established military officers, privates. Probably some of your people your age who are probably have best friends or playing Warhammer 40K in their garages right now and just building miniatures and terrain. Most people don't know about it because nobody wants to find out that they're a closet nerd. I see that a lot.
Yeah, do you?
Yes.
Do you do it? Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah, in my day, we painted a lot of figures and did a lot of stuff. I remember back in the 70s playing Dungeons and Dragons.
It's still going strong.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy that it's still going. Now, what is your most popular game?
Magic the Gathering. It's the largest card game probably in the country, probably on the planet, I imagine. Besides Pokemon's popularity.
When did that kind of emerge? Because it's been around a while, right?
Yeah, we just had our 30th anniversary a few years ago.
Wow, 30 years?
Yeah, for Magic, yeah.
No kidding.
So sometime 93, 94 or something like that.
No kidding.
That was old as me.
Wow.
Yeah, no, so that game came out, and I think it really, really exploded in the early 2000s. I didn't start playing until about 2012, but the cards that you can pull from those first couple of sets, if you can even find the first couple of sets, are hundreds, if not thousands of dollars now.
Wow.
Black Lotus could buy you a house.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we want to come back to that. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll start right back up with Glenn and learn more about some of these specialty cards. We'll be right back.
Get set for Keepin' It Real, brought to you by Sherry Ethell Team Long Realty Studios. Tune in every Saturday morning on 97.7 FM Canyon Country from 8 to 9 a.m. Hear engaging interviews with top realtors, local charity heroes, event organizers, and youth sports athletes and coaches. Keepin' It Real. Real people, real conversation, entertainment and insight celebrating our local spirit.
All right, welcome back to the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. Keeping it real. We're keeping it real. I'm your host, Dion Ethell, and this Saturday morning, we're happy to have you guys listening today. Today, we're here with Rising Sun Games. They're right off Fry Boulevard, right by Indochine, and it's a kind of a gaming store. They sell a number of different kinds of games, cards, and whatnot. And we've got one of their customers here, Cody, and he's been talking about the experience there. But we got to talking about before the break cards, and you were saying that there's some cards very expensive. What's the most expensive card in the Gathering, Magic the Gathering?
So I think is it still Black Lotus? Oh, technically it'd be the One Ring, I guess, right?
Yeah, the One Ring. I think that sold to Post Malone for like $1 million or $2 million.
It was 2.6, I think. So.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, this
million.
Yeah,
for one card.
What? Yeah. So they did a Lord of the Rings set.
Yeah.
And they had a card that was printed called the One Ring, and it's really strong, and it's supposed to be the One Ring from the movie.
Is there only one?
Well, so they printed a special art that was foil and in black speech and serialized 1 of 1, and I think some guy in Canada pulled it. And yeah, he sold it to Post Malone, flew him to Vegas, and he bought it from him, gave him a suitcase full of cash. So technically, the 1 of 1 One Ring's the most expensive card. But if not that, the Black Lotus is probably, depending if you have it graded or what condition it's in, a couple $100,000.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy. Somebody would pay that much money for a card. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. You always hear about some of those things. You see, on eBay or something, a card, For a while there, even Pokemon. So my grandson's really into Pokemon. And, we always buy him cards every once in a while, and pick him up some. And I don't know much about Pokemon cards, honestly, but he does. And so we try to get him, a bunch every once in a while. But they kind of got hard to find for a little bit.
Yeah, and that hasn't changed, unfortunately. This is actually affecting the whole gaming industry, and I'm a little worried about it. It's that we have a scalper problem is what it is. So
tell me about that.
Yeah, so starting in COVID, I would say was when it got really bad for Pokemon. People realized that you can open these Pokemon packs and you can pull cards that are worth hundreds of dollars. They're thousands of dollars, right? So they're just going to Walmart and buying everything they have and netting north on buying the mass. And then that makes it to where, you can't buy a Pokemon pack for your kid, which is really, really unfortunate because that's why the game exists.
Right.
So now that's actually gotten to the point to where distributors like a Pokemon company can sell to you instead of going through Walmart or me. So now not you specifically, but people are just using bot accounts to raid them for all of their stuff. There's never any for the stores. There's never any for people to actually get.
Kidding, that's why.
Mm-hmm. And then Magic is doing something similar. They're just printing so many cards. We have a new set release every other month, which is it's a pretty big deal. We used to do it. There used to be 4 every year. Now there's 6, and over COVID it just sped up and they do other secondary products and things, but every other month all these cards are supposed to be able to printed to demand, and they can't do it. They have 3 printers they rent out for whatever sections of time to print all these cards. And then when we need wave 2 of them, they're printing new cards already, so they can't get wave 2. So right now, the last 3 standard sets, except for, I think it's called Aether Drift, you just can't buy.
Really?
Yeah. Can't get them from distributors. They've been sold out for 3 months.
That's the way it is with a lot of different collector things. A long time ago, I used to collect Hot Wheels, and I had Hot Wheels back from the 60s and stuff. And
I always wanted to collect those.
Yeah, I had about, at one point, somewhere around 7,000, and then eventually I had about 14,000 of them. And so, but they range from, old to new in the box still, because we like to play with them, with the kids and everything when they were growing up. And so we had like boxes and boxes of them. They were very well conditioned, but, then people kind of really got into the collection thing and they want them in the box. And so I saved a bunch of them, and I had, thousands of Hot Wheels, but people would go in, like you said, and they would buy case at a time or multiple cases at a time, pick out all the really expensive, hard to find ones, and you could never get those, and then they sold them, for a lot of money. And so it got to be a thing, and it sounds like that's just bled right into other areas too.
Yeah, if it's rare, it's worth money apparently. That's I don't know what else to say. It doesn't have to be useful.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting too because honestly, with the global economy that we have now, and being able to sell something online, anybody could do that across the globe. It's become a thing. So it's so easy to, in a way, block people from having fun and the intention of the product. Exactly. Just because it becomes a collector item and goes crazy.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate. And it's just really unfortunate that it's hitting all of the games at the same time. Like, obviously, we've kind of been dealing with Pokemon. It sucks. But, we have Magic, we have Digimon, we have the other One Piece card games. And then everything this last couple months has just gone insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
So besides the Magic the Gathering, what's probably the other card games that are played the most often? Or
One Piece, Sundays, 6 o'clock. We have people play that every week. It's a very consistent crowd. I want to say there's 7 to 10 of them. We have a few people play Digimon on Saturdays, but we are starting the new Gundam trading card game on Saturdays. That's a brand new game. They just did their first set release, and we're going to have an event this weekend, $5 to learn to play.
Okay.
Get some packs and promos. But other than that, it's just Magic Commander. People walk in and they sit down and they hang out with their friends. They look for new friends and they play. That's the biggest game there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Warhammer 40K, so people will use our Discord to schedule with one another to come in because, one of those games might take a couple hours. or maybe they'll just come in and build and paint their minis.
So they actually build those there?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
I mean, I ask them not to. If they're going to spray, they need to take a box, go out back, stay away from the cars. But yeah, no, they'll put out their whole paint kits and everything. They'll glue the models together, and they'll sit there with their lights or their magnifying glasses, and they'll paint it right there.
Oh, that's cool.
We encourage it. We want people in there because the paints aren't like toxic or anything, again, except for the spray paint.
Yeah. That's why they're doing it outside.
They're like, yeah, you can't do that in my store. Get that out. But yeah, the rest of it is totally fine, and we love it. Good to see their creativity.
Yeah, and you were talking about the gaming and stuff. So how long is an average session of any of these games? I mean,
so Commander should be 30 minutes, but I've seen people play for 4 hours. It's that last game of the night that always seems to go for 3-4 hours somehow. Somebody's not letting the game just end. Kind of like imagine Monopoly, but nobody's buying the board.
Right. Okay.
And then Warhammer 40K is just a 3 to 5 hour game. That's the one where you literally set up your army of dudes and you go back and forth, moving them around and shooting and fighting and whatnot. So that one takes a long time. Most 1v1 games that are like the card games, though, one game should take you 5 to 20 minutes. When we do the tournaments, it's 50 minutes for a round, but you play 3 games.
Okay.
And you have to complete your 3 games before the 50 minutes is up.
Okay. And how often do you do tournaments?
Oh, weekly.
Well, really?
Yeah. So for Magic, every Friday we try to do something. If we have the product to do an event, we're doing, they're called draft or sealed events or pre-releases for the new sets coming out. Again, Saturdays we have people, we're trying to do the Gundam thing in the afternoons. Sundays with One Piece, people do come in early to casually play, but then we make sure that we have packs set aside so they can pay a fee and compete against each other, and we can hand out the prize support top to bottom and all sorts of things like that.
It's interesting. I'm sitting here listening to you and everything, and it just shows how my nerdiness obviously has worn off because I'm listening to all that stuff, and it sounds like you might as well be in the military talking acronyms because I'm barely following. So
I'm so sorry. I can't. Once I get going, I can't turn it off.
So with all that, and when we're talking about the different events and everything that you go on, so are you giving away those cards? Are there prizes, or there is anything, or is it that you win those cards from other players? How does that work?
Generally, it's packs, right? So like you buy the packs for your
my grandson.
Grandson, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you buy your packs. It's the same thing. Depending on how well you do, you win more packs, and then depending on what event it is, you will get promo cards as well.
Okay. So those are those cards that come to you from the actual companies that you're buying from?
Yeah. So like for Magic, it comes from Wizards of the Coast. They send me, not even through the distributors, just separately, directly from WotC. I'll get however many promos I need for the next 3 or 4 months. And if I do special events, like we're actually hosting a regional championship qualifier this Saturday. We got special pins for top 8 that they sell, and we made sure to pick those up as well.
What time is it tonight?
So Gundam should start at about 7:30. We want people to come in a little earlier and casually play. If they bring in their own decks, that's great. If not, when people start showing up, they should have their own, or that they can lend out or what have you. It's, again, really good but small community. And we want to just get people in at about 7:30. We want to start the first round. So take 3 rounds. We'll probably be out of there by 10:30, close up a tad bit late. But at least everybody will get a chance to play the new card game, and I'm going to hand out some promos and promo boxes for as well.
And those promos, that's the only way you can get those things. You can't buy them from on your own.
Eventually, they will be for sale on TCG Player, which is like the market, right? So I'm saying it's going to be on eBay tomorrow,
right?
But technically, you can't buy those in stores. If I were to sell them, for example, I could lose the ability to do business with Bandai.
Right. So this is your opportunity, if you're a player, to get some kind of cool stuff that nobody else has.
Yeah, especially if it's a brand new game. So it's not like you're going to run into somebody. Oh yeah, I have a Pikachu. Of course you do. There's 3,000 of them. Everybody's got a Pikachu, but you're not going to have this Gundam. I think it's a Unicorn Ace. I could be mistaken, but you're not going to have that unless you've actually been to a Gundam event and for the pre-release.
Okay.
No.
And you said you do these things every week? About?
Yeah. Pre-release every other month for Magic, and then same kind of concept for all those other games whenever they come out. Tomorrow, Sunday, we're actually going to have a pre-release for One Piece. That's coming in this weekend. So there's going to be, you get 6 packs, you build a deck out of what you open, and you compete for 3 rounds, and you win product that way too.
All right. Before we close out the show, let's take a quick break. We'll come right back and then close out the show. But I want to ask a couple more questions about these cards. Super excited to have you. Appreciate you, Glenn, coming in today. We'll be right back, folks.
Do uneasy markets have you waiting for the ideal moment to make home ownership a reality? Your answer lies in a conversation with Sherry Ethell and her exceptional team at Long Realty, a name synonymous with trust and reliability in Arizona's real estate landscape.
Hi, I'm Sherry Ethell, Realtor and Team CEO of the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. Your ideal moment has arrived. We tailor our approach to you and your needs and goals. Let us put our extensive network to work for you and take the stress out of the process.
Whether buying or selling, remember the name Sherry Ethell and the Sherry Ethell Team. Visit the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more information. Real integrity, real results.
All right, welcome back to the Keepin' It Real radio show. This is Dion Ethell, and I am a team realtor with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios, right behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. And we're sitting here with Glen Lehman and Cody, also, who is a player, and he's one of their customers. And so we've never really done that before. But the Rising Sun Games is what it's called. It's right here off Fry Boulevard, right by Indochine, you said, Glenn. And we were talking about cards and these card games and all the tournaments. You're doing tournaments every week. How do you put all that stuff together? It sounds like it's really busy. It sounds like a lot of work.
I'll tell you what, I quit the car business to get less stress in my life. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Yeah. It's got to be, because every week, you're doing, to organize an event, even if it's a small one, it takes a little bit of effort. And to do it every single week, I mean, good grief, you're glutton for punishment.
Yeah, so I mean, again, it's the community that makes us do it, right? They're amazing. They come in even if we don't have the thing scheduled online. Thankfully, they make sure to ask us what's going on, and they spread the word themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, advertising every single event every week is getting more and more difficult.
Wow. So is this a big community of people who play games and whatnot? I mean, how big in our little community would you say? There are coming in all the time.
If you wanted to make me sit and count, I could probably name 100 Magic players.
Really?
Probably.
Just up on Magic.
Yeah, it'd take me a few minutes, but I could probably do it. Just 100 Magic players in town or in the nearby areas. And then
that's just one game of many.
Yeah, and again, that's the biggest one, to be fair, but they also say that Magic, 2/3 of the community will never set foot in a game store.
Really?
Yeah, or if they do, they go in, they buy their product, they go home, and they sit down. We call them kitchen table Magic players.
Okay.
Because they sit down, they may not even follow all the rules 100% because they don't go to these environments where they can be corrected or anything. But they'll sit down, they'll have a great time with their kids or their best friends at a kitchen table at home, and that's supposedly 2/3 of the entire Magic.
So there's probably
community.
Hundreds of people who are out there just doing it at their kitchen table.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we don't even know
That's
who
kinda
they
interesting.
are. So if I think there's about 100 people that I can name, there's probably 200 people that come into my store. That means there's probably 1,200. What is that? So probably another 600 people sitting at home doing playing
the
around.
same game. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. And then as far as cards, do you have a pretty good inventory supply of cards available?
Too many. Yes. So listed online on that TCG player I mentioned.
Yeah.
We have about 136,000 individual cards, primarily
What?
Magic. Yeah.
136,000.
Yeah. Sorting those has ruined my shoulder.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
And that's selling about 200 cards a day over the last 3-4 years.
A day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a little rough, but it's a lot of work, right? We're gluttons for punishment. And then next to my I just decided to do a quick count of it. I have about 74,000 unsorted just Magic cards in my store up against a wall. We're getting a card sorter next month, a machine that'll do half my job for me, thankfully, and I can't wait.
Wow, that's crazy. I had no idea. I mean, wow, tens of thousands of cards. That's incredible. And a couple hundred a day. That's enormous. I didn't realize there was that big of a draw. But, you think about it, here, my grandson, he collects these cards and we buy them frequently for him. And I know his parents buy them and everybody else does buy them. So, you got all these other people, these ancillary people who are just out there in the wings who aren't playing the game, but they're buying them anyway because they're buying them for somebody else who is playing the game.
Yep.
And knows all about all these different kinds of games and cards. So very cool. Well, Glenn, I appreciate you coming in and talking a little bit about yourself and, this cool business that you have, the Rising Sun Games. It's interesting because I really didn't, I've seen it there. Unfortunately, I haven't come in. Now I need to come in and take a look at what you got.
You should definitely come in and check it out. And it's not everybody's cup of tea, right? Like some people will walk in because they're getting some Indochine, or they stop at Sakura, the snack store on the end there, and they'll just walk in and they'll be like, "Oh, there's no video games in here." Kids are losing their mind. They see Pokemon cards, and it's really good. But they're like, nope, we gotta go. So this is what we thought.
Yeah.
So it's not everybody's cup of tea. But if you want to come in and just have a good time, even if it's just to eat some, Indochine's a little bit too busy, and you want to swing over and sit at one of our tables, more than welcoming.
Yeah, that's very cool. And it's neat that, now I've got another resource so I can go check out those cards for my grandson. So that's awesome. Very cool. Well, I appreciate you, Cody, coming in and talking a little bit, and Glenn. And again, this is Keeping It Real with the Sherry Ethell team at Long Realty Studios. And we'll be right back after these brief messages and come back to the show.
In a town with heart and history, the Sherry Ethell Team is the key. Serving Sierra Vista, we agree. For military law and retirees, stress-free process you will see. Personal care is our guarantee. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team, we never halt. Real experts here to guide your way, making dreams come true every single day. Trust a team that knows just what to do. The Sherry Ethell Team, working for you. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team is your one and only call.
It's the Home Spotlight Series, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, where home stories are told until they're sold.
Hi, it's Sherry Ethell here. Step into timeless beauty at 44 East Ramsey Canyon Road. This stunning 1930s retreat sits on over 4 wooded acres bordering the Coronado National Forest. With 2,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, and 2 baths, it blends vintage charm with modern comforts. Inside, you'll find slate and wood floors, a 1934 rock fireplace, and a gorgeous 4-season Arizona room. The spa-like primary suite features breathtaking views from a private deck and a clawfoot tub and a luxurious bath. This custom European-style kitchen offers cherry cabinetry, a wine cooler, and a pantry with rotating shelves. Outside, you'll enjoy irrigated fruit orchards, a seasonal creek, a she shed, and a shop with an outdoor shower. With abundant wildlife and multiple patios perfect for entertaining, this is truly a birder's paradise and a one-of-a-kind sanctuary. 44 East Ramsey Canyon Road, offered at $995,000.
Buy and sell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. We make success stories for a living. All right, welcome back to the Keepin' It Real radio show. I'm Dion Ethell. I'm your host. I'm here with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios, right here behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. And I am back in the studio with another guest. I've got Randy Wise. Randy, he is a team realtor, so he works on the Sherry Ethell Team now. Brand new realtor, just started, but he's had a long professional career, and he was former military, so thank you for your service. Welcome to the show, Randy.
Well, thank you, brother. It's good to be here.
So we're going to talk a little bit about you and just kind of introduce you to the community. You're not new to the community. How long you been here?
This time about 3 years. I was stationed here at Fort Huachuca 12 years ago. We were here 7 years, mostly my wife. I kind of came and went certain places.
Yeah.
But, so we bought a house here. Love Sierra Vista, and we rented it out very successfully. We ended up in Alaska finally, where I retired, and I think it was time for us to leave Alaska, and so we came back to Sierra Vista and rejoined the community.
Yeah, and it's interesting because so we met the Wises kind of in a maybe non-traditional way. We sold you a house, and so we became client relationship, but. Got to know you guys, and then you retired and you were looking for something else to do, and there's an opportunity, and so you took some real estate classes and got into it. And your wife, we've actually had her on the show coincidentally,
yes,
because she was Teacher of the Year.
Yes,
so that was kind of cool.
Yes,
so we know Natalie. If you happen to catch that show, it was fun. We actually talked to her earlier in one of our previous shows with a bunch of other teachers, and then had her back by solo, when she actually was Teacher of the Year more recently. So that's kind of cool.
Yes.
So you guys are no stranger to the community, but tell us a little bit. What's your background? What did you do for the military?
With unmanned aircraft. I started out infantry and decided I was a little old for that. I joined a little later in life, and so I reclassed to unmanned aircraft as I was enlisted, and then I decided to stay in. My daughter had some medical issues, so that kind of kept me in because actually the medical was very good.
Yeah.
So, and you kind of get to that 10, 12-year point. It's like, well, I might as well go all the way.
Stay in it and retire.
So I applied to be a warrant officer, became a warrant officer, and then did my 20 and retired, as I said, in Alaska.
Okay. And did you do the unmanned aircraft up there when you were in Alaska as well?
Yes.
Or were you doing something different?
I did that, yes. More of a brigade level type thing, more corporate, I call it. So.
Right. Different level.
Yeah.
So
a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, you're right. What was it like living in Alaska? Where were you at in Alaska?
We were in Fairbanks, Fort Wainwright. It's very interesting. It's people always say, well, did you hunt? Did you fish? And I really wasn't a big hunter or fisher. I did some kind of small fishing, but I kind of got into off-roading. There was an off-road club that my friends were in, and they said, you should come out and do this. So I bought a Jeep Cherokee, and I went down. I went down that rabbit hole, spent a lot of money, and it just kept getting higher and higher. And it's just like, just one more mod. But it was a lot of fun going out there in the middle of nowhere, where it was just so unspoiled. You would find like old mining equipment that didn't have graffiti all over it. There'd be you'd go into like a crane, and there'd be a phone book from like 1957 that was just still sitting there, and you drive by, you'd look at the phone book, go, oh, that's pretty cool, and you'd put it back and
leave it for somebody else.
That's
cool.
And you would go down these glacier valleys. There would be bald eagles flying above, Dall sheep running around the ridges, and just you get up in the middle of the night, which is actually light, and you go to take care of some business, and you look up and there's a moose standing there looking down at you. Go,
right.
So I do miss that aspect of it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Wow. With all that said, was I'm assuming then the outdoors were a big part of being up there and everything.
Yeah. Mostly in the summer.
Yeah. I suppose winter was cold.
In winter, though, if you can embrace it, and you have to go outside and do stuff, and you dress warmly, and you go out and you can snowshoe, you can still hike around.
What was the coldest that ever got out there when you were there?
I think it was a -42.
Oh my God, -42. Wow.
You would walk out and you would breathe in, and your nose hairs would freeze, and then you'd breathe out, and then they'd thaw. It was like this really weird sensation.
Oh my gosh.
And and your car just sounds like it's gonna die. Or
I'm assuming you had the little plug. Everybody had a plug
in. Your tires get flat spots on them, and like
that's right. I remember you saying that, which is odd. So tell that story. Tell a little bit about what was that about. So your tires just sitting there, they freeze, or
if they sit, it's cold enough. Especially you have, like, my Jeep had bias tires, and it was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that, if you go out and look at your tire where it's sitting, it's kind of flat at the point of the ground, and it'll actually stiffen that there until you drive a little bit and they warm themselves
up. So it's clunking.
So you think, oh my God, what's wrong with my car? Like, dunk.
Oh my gosh.
So, that's everything starts breaking, all your trim. You can't leave stuff in your car. Like stuff in your
everything
you leave
freezes
in your car, it melts, right? And it gets hot.
Yeah.
Here you have stuff in there like you have like just a notebook or something, and you go to open it, it's like crack, just comes apart.
Really?
So you have to make sure any plastics and stuff are not in your car, and whatever you do not leave like a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper in your car.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can imagine.
They will blow up.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So Randy, what made you decide real estate? What was the turning point there, other than you needed something to do?
Well, I met these strange people,
right?
that I bought and sold a house with. I kind of tried to be retired a little too early, and it wasn't good for me mentally, physically, and spiritually. I wasn't ready. So
you're still a pretty young guy.
Yeah, and I was. I needed to. I wasn't ready.
I say that because we're the same age, so I'm trying to talk myself into it.
I'm
young.
That was my knee, right? But I heard someone once said everybody needs a sled to pull. and I just wasn't ready to retire. I need to go back to work. I kind of like to stress about things, so if I'm going to stress about something, I might as well do it working instead of sitting home and finding things to stress about. I'm just kind of that way.
Right.
So I think in life sometimes a door opens for you. You have an opportunity, and sometimes you're like, man, I should have done that. I could have done this. And so that door opened, I appreciate, being able to join the team, give it a shot.
Well, I'm super excited to get you on the team. One, because he's the only other guy on our team, so that helps a lot, right?
Yes.
I'm surrounded by women, but it's not only that, but I think Randy brings a special kind of connection to one because of the military experience, right? I've got that law enforcement background, but he brings another scope. Although Sherry's a military relocation professional, so she's done all that, and she's helped, of course, a ton of veterans here in town. But I think that unique connection to the troops out there will help you figure out ways that you can better serve them. And that's what we want to do. At the end of the day, like Sherry always says, it's about the people who we serve, and she really wants to make sure that we're doing everything that we can for them. So I think you'll bring that next level to that service.
Yeah, it's definitely, understanding terminology and mostly some of the stressors and the anxiety of moving.
Yeah.
And
well, you've lived it,
being busy, yes, and you don't have a lot of time, and you got to make decisions. And is buying a house worth it for me? Well, I'm only here for 3 or 4 years, so
yeah,
helping people through that process and just having some of that compassion, making sure they understand, like VA loans and all the things that they offer. I'm learning things like I never knew you could have more than one VA loan.
Right.
I did not know that.
Most people don't. Honestly, they don't.
So, there's conditions, but it's doable. Just, and beyond the military, I really look forward to working with first-time buyers because I'm still close to that experience and that stress.
Yeah.
And that anxiety and just making people comfortable to feel like they're not just being rushed into something, that they understand the process. Because it can be a real quick process when you're closing on a house and stuff. So I have empathy for that, and making sure that you're taken care of. And I think with these things, of course, everybody goes to work to make money and do this stuff. But if you do all those things and you're looking out for people, then the money follows. And so that's I'm finding that that connection, that human aspect of this is very satisfying to me.
Well, and I think that's unique for our team, right? Because we all come from that kind of situation where we've all retired for the most part. There's got a couple of people who haven't retired yet on our team, but we've had all these life experiences, and not that we don't need money. I mean, obviously that's a plus, but we have other sources of income, and so that kind of gives us an opportunity to be able to serve, I think, easier. It's not on your mind, and that's Sherry's goal anyway. When she started her business, is she's like, I don't want it to be about money. I want it to be about service, and I want to be able to help people get through this process as stress-free as possible, because we were stressed out. We went through a lot of the same things you did when you were doing your PCS moves. We were too, and that relocation is nerve-wracking. And it's just, especially if you're only going to be here, like you said, 2 or 3 years, that can be really heavy on your mind. And should I buy a house? And I'm so glad that I did, because, as we've learned, and you're getting into it now too, you just find, wow, this is the quickest way to build that nest egg. And this is a great way to supplement, whether it be TSP or your 401k or something else that you're trying to invest in for later. And when you get to our ages and you're like, wow, I think that's helpful to be able to give that to people and give the people that reassurance. And I love the fact that you're different than I am, in that you are, I think he's smarter than I am, but he's definitely more specific. Randy is very detail oriented. And so he really, like, when he learns something, he's right down into the weeds on it. And so he really knows his stuff. And I think that you're already smart about real estate, and I think you're just going to become a really terrific realtor as you kind of progress through your journey here with real estate. I think that you're going to be really good at it. I think that's what makes Sherry's good, because as a scientist, she's all about the numbers. She's all about analyzing things and markets and things like that. So I think it makes perfect sense that you'll be very good at it.
Yeah, my wife would disagree with you. She says I'm not very detailed.
Oh man, I think you are. I think you're totally.
Well,
sorry, Natalie, but you know.
I think in the Army, I was a technician, so I had to deal with SOPs and manuals and regulations, and so I wasn't, so say selling something, I would have to explain a system to somebody and say, hey, this is how it can benefit you. But I really dove into the bureaucracy and the paperwork of it. So as I'm focusing on the real estate stuff, I tend to hone in on that because it's just like habit. It's like, I need to know these contracts back and forward. And I'm there,
Yeah.
In the morning, I have this like lip machine. I'm reading the buyer broker agreement to myself. This contract makes me very official, So it's like, I want to know it. I got to have it down because if I don't, it makes me more comfortable with the client.
Yeah.
So I can say boom, boom, boom.
Well, I think that's going to help a lot with your relationships with your clients. I mean, they're going to feel like they've got an expert, in the corner, and I think that's good that you want to learn that. He's already given me a hard time. And hey, did you know that that's actually not the way you're supposed to do it? That's awesome. That's awesome. I had command of a whole bunch of people, so I had lots of terrific, outstanding people who knew all the weeds, and I found that over time, because you do that, you become kind of a generalist and not very specific. And then you start to feel kind of stupid because you had all these terrific, smart people doing so much good work. And I can't even say enough good things about the men and women in my organization and all the talents and skills that they have. And I was able to utilize that. Everything that we did and accomplished here in this part of the country was because of them. And so I'm just super, super glad to work out that. But because of them, I became kind of a generalist. In fact, I found out when I got into real estate, I didn't even know how to do my own calendar.
Yeah. But it's, with that, you have to have people keeping you honest and focusing on those details.
Right.
So I'll keep you in line, man.
Good. I'm looking forward to it. I think that's excellent. And I appreciate you being on the team. I think you're going to be outstanding. He's already out there. You'll see him in the community. He's been doing this for a little while now, and he's already, knee deep into it. He's out there doing open houses. You'll see him in a lot of this stuff, already working deals. So if you need a realtor here, again, Randy Wise, one of our team members here for the Sherry Ethell team. So don't forget him. And if you're a fellow veteran, especially an Army veteran, he's got the talent and experience with that, longtime military veteran. So definitely you can use those skills to help you kind of find what you need. Well, thanks for coming on the show today with me. You probably hear Randy a little bit more, maybe. I'm trying to talk him into maybe doing some guest appearances here and co-hosting some of the shows. So
I know this could get addicting. I don't know.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun sometimes.
I don't want to talk on the radio.
Right. No, it always scares people in the beginning, but it can be kind of fun. And like I say, we meet such great people.
Yes.
I was just talking to Randy this morning. Next week, we're going to have some more terrific guests on from Seniors Helping Seniors. And it's just outstanding, the kind of stuff that we get and the people that we have and the stories behind why they got into what they do.
Yeah.
Really cool stories.
Yeah, there's a lot of great small business around here, and people have stories, and then beyond just their business. Finding out about them and how they got into that and what they did to. So I talked a local business owner to come in and sit down, which surprised me because I didn't think she would do it. She's like,
super excited about that too.
About it. So that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your time, Randy. And again, Randy Wise, Sherry Ethell Team, Long Realty, right here behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. We're here for all of your real estate needs, and Randy's here and waiting for your call.
All right, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to meeting you all.
All right, we'll be right back after these brief messages.
Well, folks, that's a wrap on this week's Keepin' It Real radio show. As always, we're so grateful to have you spend part of your Saturday morning with us. Whether you're sipping coffee on the porch, out running errands, or out shopping for a home, we appreciate you. If something we said today sparked a question, or if you've got a great topic or guest idea for a future episode, we'd love to hear it. You can drop your suggestion in the Keepin' It Real suggestion box at the front desk of Long Realty, right behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. Or just shoot me an email at sherry@sherryethelteam.com realtym.com or call or text me anytime at 717-599-2439. We love hearing from you. It helps us keep this show real, relevant, and rooted in our Cochise County community. We'll be back next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. right here on 97.7 Canyon Country, your first choice for legendary country.
Until then, stay safe, stay kind, and as always, keep it real, Cochise County.
What's in a name? Everything. Long Realty has been a cornerstone of Southern Arizona's real estate market for nearly 100 years. Our name is our bond, and our agents are our strength. Trust in the name that stands for experience and expertise. Visit longrealty.com or call 520-459-4993 to connect with an agent today. Long Realty. Smart move.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Keepin' It Real radio show. Join us next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. for more engaging interviews with top realtors and industry leaders, keeping you informed about the latest trends in real estate. Stay connected with us as we bring you updates on the dynamic events shaping our vibrant community. From exciting local happenings to noteworthy charities and causes, we've got you covered. See you next week for another edition of Keepin' It Real.